Competitors from around the world are coming together to build robots, complete challenges, and use their robotic skills to become the ultimate RoboCo champion. Welcome to the 2023 FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge. The FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge takes place in RoboCo, a video game developed by Filament Games in collaboration with FIRST Global. In the game, teams will build and control robots to conquer challenges inspired by real-world robotics applications. We started with 44 teams in the qualifiers, narrowed it down to 24 teams in the playoffs, and now the stage is set for our top 8 teams in the finals. The teams are tasked with building a robot that can complete as many objectives as possible before the time runs out. Teams will be scored based on the amount of objectives they are able to complete within the allotted time, as well as the cost effectiveness of their robot. Also, today we will be giving out our awards for creativity, engineering, aesthetics, and efficiency, voted on by our esteemed panel of judges. For the finals, teams will take their best shot at RoboCos across the goo level. Objectives include turning the red valve to stop a goo leak, turning off any green valve to slow the leak, not touching any of the goo, draining the pool of goo, knocking the shoe into the goo, getting across the goo without touching any of the pipes, accessing the laboratory, then pouring goo over the plant in the lab.
Hello everyone, my name is Dan Richardson and I'm a robotics engineer in the themed entertainment industry.
And I'm Melissa Smith, a user experience manager at Google. We will be guiding you throughout the challenge as we dive into the world of virtual robotics. The components are the same, the physics are real, but the environment is virtual, which allows for quicker iterations and explorations, as well as numerous creative solutions, as we'll see over the course of today's broadcast.
Today, we'll see creative robots designed by students from 8 countries from around the world, across 4 continents. These robots will be completing 3 types of objectives: main objectives, sub-objectives, and secret objectives in each 2-minute and 30-second match. It's time to find out which of these teams is crowned the 2023 FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge champion. All right, let's get things started with Team Seychelles and their robot Yetis Robotis. Yetis Robotis was built to assist with radioactive research and reduce human exposure to hazardous materials. When an accident occurred, Yetis Robotis risked its own destruction to contain the damage, saving countless lives and proving its unwavering loyalty to those who built it. It's a great backstory, and let's get into the match.
All right, so right out of the gate, Seychelles with their robot. So they actually used Python to program the robot able to jump over those gaps to, traverse the goo. Great use of technology right out of the gate there.
Yetis and Deetis, it jumped right over that gap, sent it, full send. Get that first objective cleared. Now they're turning the valves and just trying to avoid the goo. We've got a cleaning mechanism so they can actually clean it up and still maintain that objective.
That was a really clever mechanism they used for turning the valves as well. So they had a wheel, I guess, on the end of their end effector, and they just used that to turn it. So, or now they have actually an arm. So I don't know. It seemed really clever use of the tools that we have here within RoboCo by Team Seychelles and their robot here.
Yeah, the end effector grabbing the end of the valve and spinning it closed, stopping the leaking goo. Gotta release the end effector before we drive away. Oh, dropping the shoe in the goo. First one, secret objective, locked in.
Very, very multitask friendly end effector usage here. Oh, are we gonna see them jump again? Let's see.
Go gadget arm trying to grab the access card. You got about 60 seconds left in this match. Let's see how much they're able to do. Opening the laboratory.
So really, and you can see how careful they have to be with driving because it's a very tall and forward-leaning end effector there. So it causes the center of gravity to be shifted on this robot, but they're handling it. So good job to Team Seychelles.
Just throwing the goo all over the plant. Securing that objective. Now we got a monster plant to deal with after the game. But we got 20 seconds left and they've still got a couple objectives to try to finish up.
Let's see if they get it. This is one of the key objectives, turning off this red valve.
5 seconds left, just trying to turn the red valve enough to stop the leak, and they get it complete with time expiring, securing all the objectives.
Fantastic job by Team Seychelles.
Yeah, incredible score, great efficiency bonus, and all the objectives complete. It brings their total score to over 30,000.
Next up is Team Venezuela and their robot Cunaguado. Cunaguado is named after a feline found in Venezuela. Inspiration for the robot's ability to jump to impressive heights came from watching a Cunaguado jump easily in its natural habitat. So let's see how they do in this run.
Right out the gates, Venezuela moving to grab the ramp, put it in place.
Very effective way of positioning the ramp, just tossing it on yourself and just moving forward.
It's got the speed, the power, and the maneuverability. Gets the ramp in place and starts to work on that first green valve.
And so just as a reminder, so there's 3 key objectives that the robots are completing now, or the teams are completing via their robots. So they need to close the different valves, but once they close them all, that's one of the key objectives. So they'll get multiple stars for the completion of that. But along the way, if they close separate different valves along the way, they can get different tasks. So lots of things going on at the moment.
Yeah, I love this little rangefinder it's got on the front where it's this laser pointer to try to show them where their mechanism is. It really helps them get their mechanism lined up on some of these more precise tasks.
And this is a very great way of closing that valve, because now it's not about precisely grabbing a handle. It's just, lining it up and then rotating this piece. So it's a very effective and quick way to complete a task like closing or turning a valve.
It's a very well planned out run. They turned the red valve. They've already opened the door for the laboratory, and they're knocking over the plant. And oh no, now it's loose. They're rolling around on the ground. Maybe a little bit of a step hazard there, but they do secure that objective.
Yeah, just to echo your point, Dan, they did some excellent pathing and how they maneuvered around this course here during this run, in that they've really planned out exactly which way to go and were able to get to all the different places they needed to be without having to even encounter a lot of the goo. Oh, and here we got the jump.
Oh, yowza! Where did that come from?
Well, that's why it's called Cunaguado.
Right over the pipe. Do a backflip, do a barrel roll, knocking the shoe in the goo, and they've got one more valve to turn off to complete all the objectives with 5 seconds remaining. Can they do it? Oh no, they're not able to get it. They get the shoe in the goo, but not quite that last valve. Holy cow, Venezuela really bringing the heat.
Excellent run from Team Venezuela. Their score is a little over 27,000, putting them up there, and just great run overall. And congrats on Team Venezuela and their robot, Puniguado.
All right, next up is our team, People's Republic of China, and their robot Robo family. The team calls their collection of robots the Walking Stick family. Family members include the mother, Power Stick, sister, Flying Stick, younger brother, Naughty Stick, and the little sisters, Cutie Stick.
All right, so let's see how this Robo family does in this task from Team People's Republic of China.
I love the flipping maneuvers. All of them that just run out and immediately. This robot has multiple robots in play. The first one that we're watching here jumps the gap and turns that first green valve.
So lots of stars coming up because there's lots of robots that are simultaneously working through this run right now from Team People's Republic of China. Lots of Python used to actually program and coordinate the actions of these different robots. This robot we're focusing on though is really interesting because it has 4 individual wheels that are all turning in alignment with each other, but kind of wide from the central base. So it's a really interesting mechanism. You can see right now the rotation of it as they're trying to rotate the robot itself. As they're turning the valve, the robot itself is rotating. So, you know, an engineering challenge that Team People's Republic of China had to overcome with this robot.
Yeah, it's also used to support the swerve drive, that's really cool. And at the very beginning, I'm not sure that we called this out or not, but it did shoot down the shoe into the goo with using some automated positioning.
Really interesting design choices from Team People's Republic of China. Now we're cutting to another robot that was hovering above as a drone. So that's a really interesting mechanism we haven't seen quite as often yet. Like a drone type robot being used to complete some of the tasks.
Yeah, it uses inertia and distance sensors to help adjust its position. The dual rotor drone. Now the team quickly opening the laboratory, now grabbing the flask. They gotta get it over to the plant and turn it back into the monster that it really wants to become. It's like a gremlin plant. You gotta feed it after midnight and it turns into something you don't really want, but they do complete that final objective.
Great work from Team People's Republic of China with their Robo family. Just breaking 30,000. Great job from Team People's Republic of China. Next up is Team Slovakia and their robots, the Twins. The Twins are 2 look-alike robots that cooperate to protect humans from dangerous conditions. They love zooming around in the lab and playing catch. And due to the dangerous goo, they can't hug anybody else unless they have showered first. Let's see how the Twins do in this run.
All right, here we go. 2 robots in action. 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Immediately grabbing that bridge, trying to get it so they can push it into place, drive across the goo pool. Oh, interesting. I don't know if this is the first robot we've seen use the handle or not, but I love like the little rowing motion that it takes.
Yeah,
but quickly and efficiently getting it in place.
Also, this ramp is a really interesting mechanism because it actually is also a balancing act. So, you know, you have to design your robot to be able to get onto it and be able to maintain its center of gravity to not potentially tip over. So, great design here from Team Slovakia.
Go opening the door and grabbing the goo. A minion taking furious notes in the corner. Yes, it's alive. It's alive.
So, and again, great design from Team Slovakia because the same mechanism that on the other side was able to turn a horizontally oriented valve is now able to turn this vertically oriented valve. So, and you can see in the background their twin robot over there doing the other task. So, oh, here we are, focusing on the twin robot. So,
it's getting lined up. I love this. It was used to, you know, they used Python to move the secondary robot to the other side of the glue pool, and it really saves time. It's a very efficient time saver. Now they're trying to get lined up. I think they knocked the shoe into the pool. Yes, it looks like the star on that objective. So shoe's now in the goo with 20 seconds, just about 20 seconds coming up.
great pathing by Team Slovakia as well, able to get through this run without necessarily encountering any of the goo on the ground. So they were really deliberate in how they positioned their twin robots through this run.
It's definitely one of the faster runs we've seen too. They completed all the objectives with about 15 seconds left on the clock, and that results in a high score of 30,648. Now that puts them in first place, topping the leaderboard. All right, next up we've got Team Ukraine and their robot Elysian Gora. Elysian Gora is a mutated plant grown in a game lab. Scientists believe it can help humanity in the future, but don't know what their plans really are.
Whoa, look at this arm from Team Ukraine. How many joints is that, Dan?
I think I count 9. Just not. Oh, we're Indiana Jones across the bridge with this crazy go-go gadget arm. Fantastic job. I love the creativity that comes out in this world. You know, it maybe defies a little bit of physics. It's grounded in pseudo-reality. I love the way that it plays out.
Oh, interesting mechanism. I mean, they have a lot going on in this robot. I'm just excited to see what else is going to pop out from it. But great work already from Team Ukraine with this run.
Definitely the gift that keeps giving. Opening the door. Extendatron 3000. Grabbing the flask. Brings it into the robot. Makes it a little bit more efficient to drive.
You can see the trade-offs in decisions that are being made with this robot right now. So of course they have this really extendable arm, but to your point, it makes it easier to control the robot when it's actually all closer to the base. So Team Ukraine is not extending it unless they absolutely need to. And of course they have this other side mechanism, which is really handy for turning the different valves.
Turning the green valve.
And actually, this mechanism is now using it almost like a counterweight behind, especially right now as we're seeing it extend forward. So very clever design.
Yeah, they kick the shoe in the goo. That's going to go ahead and complete their round. An efficiency score of 6,386. So coming up with a score of 27,386.
Great job to Team Ukraine and their robot, Elysian Gora.
Yeah, that's good enough to put them in 4th place on our leaderboard as we move into the next run.
Next up, we have Team Hope and their robot, RoboG. RoboG, whose name stands for Robot Refugee, is the world's first mascot of hope for the refugee community. RoboG inspires children to realize their own potential and capabilities. Let's see how RoboG does in this run.
Talking about their team experience, they said this team spent hours researching, testing, and iterating on their design, always striving to improve and optimize their robots and performance. They actually said, "We're proud of what we've accomplished. We've as an individual, as a team, as they just cling to the edge for dear life. Of course they're proud they survived the goo pool."
What a clever way to get across that pool. As you've seen, there's so many different ways that the teams have devised, and that is just as effective as any others because they were able to use the elevator mechanism to pull the robot up while, they had their arm hanging on to the ramp. So great work from Team Hope.
Oh, and then they lay down the arm, almost turning into the goo pool, getting themselves kind of twisted up here.
Really interesting mechanisms on top of the robot. I can't tell if it's decorative or if it serves a purpose, but lots of little moving flags almost on the top of the base of the robot.
Yeah, it's almost like a bunch of mushrooms or something. Maybe it's an organic part of their robot. It's interesting as they turn these valves, the robot weight at the base must not be quite enough to keep them stable, but it's sending them around. But they are able to get the valves turned.
Very clever design with this elevator that can go up and down because it allows them to keep their center of gravity pretty low when it's low, when the elevator's down, and allows them to actually then maneuver underneath things, which we haven't seen a lot of robots do. We've seen a lot of jumping over, but not as much going under things. So great work from Team Hope.
Really incredible work so far. We've got 30 seconds left, and all they have to do left is to feed the plant. Oh, their elevator is just diagonal, using every inch of the Pythagorean theorem there just to try to get through the door. Monster plant, and we've got the finish.
Excellent job from Team Hope. That has to be a great efficiency score. I mean, this robot was pretty minimal, but it accomplished everything it needed to do. Efficiency bonus of 7,623 from Team Hope. Total score of 31,623. I think that's enough to put them right at the top of our leaderboard here.
Yeah, Team Hope positioning themselves in first place as we come up on our last two runs and the last two teams. Our next team is Team Lebanon and their robot Amiga Eco. Amiga Eco has a custom claw designed by the team which allows it to turn the valves and also pick up the lab access card. This robot is a hero, saving humanity.
Right off the gate, Team Lebanon. Really interesting claw design. This is what they were referring to. And they actually used Python to control the different positions of this valve closing claw. So great work from Team Lebanon.
It's one of the more efficient hop, skips, and a jump over that bridge that we've seen so far. Stayed stable all the way through. Oh, turn themselves over, turn the valve back on. Oh my word. Just a little bit more glue is not going to hurt anybody.
Fantastic use of engineering here. They turned themselves over as they were rotating, so just go the opposite way to turn yourself back right side up.
You know, we call that active problem solving. This team talked about their journey, and they said enrolling in the competition provided the team with valuable experience that they can apply to future projects.
Lots of different mechanisms on this arm here. So as you can see, they have this little, I guess, scooper at the bottom of this arm that's able to pick up the lab card. So really interesting use of technology and thinking ahead of what what's actually needed to be accomplished with the design of this robot.
It's a very interesting camera view to try to help them as well. Really getting themselves lined up on these mechanism to the objective.
This is also one of the more stable flash grabs we've seen. Usually, like, the robots are grabbing with, like, you know, an end effector or something that will actually kind of cause them the goo to spill, but you know, Team Lebanon was able to really scoop it up from the bottom. And again, that's something, in this case, it didn't really matter if it spilled or not, but it's important to think about what are the constraints for a given task, and Team Lebanon really thought about it for this one.
I don't know, we've talked about this so far. We know they're hop, skip, and a jump, but I'm curious what would happen if we actually spilled the goo on the minion there, the lab attendant. Would he turn into a monster? I guess time will never tell. Trying to get the shoe in the goo, they knock it over. And one more valve with 15 seconds remaining.
Great end there for Team Lebanon. Very efficient with their Python-enabled valve turning mechanism that they designed on their robot.
Wow, an incredible efficiency bonus too. 8,145, going to bring their total score to 32,145.
And that slides them in right at the top. So congratulations to Team Lebanon and their run.
Yeah, first place for Team Lebanon as we head into our final run.
All right, our last team for today is Team Algeria, our defending champs from last year's FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge. Back this year with their robot named Caustic 156. This robot's name is made up from the chemical symbols for calcium, uranium, sulfur, titanium, and carbon. The number 156 is the sum of the atomic numbers of the elements that make up its name. So let's see how Team Algeria and Caustic 156 do in this run.
Quickly and efficiently moving Team Algeria, trying to get themselves in this place. They've got quite a large appendage here, a lot of vibration happening at the end of that mechanism, but they are able to control it, get it up to that first top green valve, and spin that mechanism to shut down that first goo stream.
Oh, and they just detached it. I guess, again, smart use, smart planning ahead for Team Algeria here. They don't need to reach that high, I guess, for any of the other tasks, so they just detach the mechanism. Makes it easier to control the robot and drive around.
Getting themselves lined up with that bridge, or with the ramp to get over the bridge. Somehow they've already seemingly grabbed the key card, or it's there on the ground. I'm not sure how it got there. Maybe they shot it over to the other side, make it a little bit easier for them to pick up.
Also, very careful driving here happening from Team Algeria, because of course they don't want to touch the goo. The whole point of this run is to turn off the goo that's spilling around, and they don't want to be contaminated by it, so very clever driving there.
I wonder if these students are now better at the claw game in the arcade with all the practice they've been getting from these robots. So we'll find out at some point in the future at a FIRST Global competition.
It's a very efficient run. Still 55 seconds left. They have completed 6 of the 8 objectives.
Yes. Getting themselves lined up on that green valve. Trying to reach and turn. Woo! Go for a ride is the robot.
Again, very smart way of turning themselves back around. Oh, and they do have a cleaning mechanism, so they are able to navigate through when they need to, but, you know, no need to do that any earlier than necessary.
That shoe's already on the ground, so they must have done something to knock it down. We might have missed it, but they probably shot it down earlier so they can quickly and efficiently grab it and drop it in the goo. Oh, just barely holding on to that valve. 4 seconds remaining. 3, 2, 1, and they complete the final objective for our final run. Let's see how the scores work out.
was a buzzer beater there. They went right down to the last second, but that's what matters. They got here an efficiency bonus of 7,918 points.
Yeah, coming in with 31,918, which I don't believe is enough. Checking out the leaderboard, and Team Lebanon is going to take it home in first place. Algeria just narrowly missing 31,918. Congratulations to all teams who competed here today.
It's now time to move on to the part we've all been waiting for, the awards ceremony. Let's see who will be taking home the medals. The judges reviewed robots from all 3 rounds of the 2023 FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge to determine the robots that were most efficient, most aesthetic, most creative, and most elegantly engineered. Our first award is the most efficient robot from all rounds. The winner of the bronze medal for most efficient robot is Team Lebanon and their finals robot, Amiga Eco. The winner of the silver medal for most efficient robot is Team Seychelles and their qualifiers robot, Pochita Bot. The winner of the gold medal for most efficient robot is Team Portugal and their qualifiers robot, Kagobot. Here are the winners of most aesthetic robot. The winner of the bronze medal for most aesthetic robot is Team Burkina Faso and their qualifiers robot, Cleaning Goat. The winner of the silver medal for most aesthetic robot is Team Syria and their qualifiers robot, Mutkun. The winner of the gold medal for most aesthetic robot is Team Colombia and their qualifiers robot, Teddy. Our next category is most creative robot. The winner of the bronze medal for most creative robot is Team Kenya and their qualifiers robot, Jungubot V1.0. The winner of the silver medal for most creative robot is Team People's Republic of China and their finals robot, RoboFamily. The winner of the gold medal for most creative robot is Team Bulgaria and their playoffs robot, Super Acho. Here are the winners for most elegantly engineered robot. The winner of the bronze medal for most elegantly engineered robot is Team Libya and their playoffs robot, Hollow. The winner of the silver medal for most elegantly engineered robot is Team Slovakia and their qualifiers robot, Bumblebee. The winner of the gold medal for most elegantly engineered robot is Team Ukraine and their finals robot, Elysian Gora. And now, the winners of the 2023 FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge. The winner of the bronze medal for the 2023 FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge is Team Hope. The winner of the silver medal for the 2023 FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge is Team Algeria. And the winner of the gold medal in the 2023 FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge champion is Team Lebanon. Congratulations to all of our teams and a heartfelt thank you to all of our competitors for participating in the 2023 FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge, brought to you by FIRST Global and Filament Games. We hope you'll join us for the next FIRST Global RoboCo Challenge.